Welcome to Profiletraders. This is Reza and you're listening to my market analysis for June the 24th. So it was a tremendously volatile Friday, all of it due to the result that came out of Brexit, and every single poll prior to the vote, interestingly, was indicating a very strong vote to stay. And I wonder if this was not engineered to influence the vote, because the results came totally and completely opposite of what was expected. And as we figured out late into the night that they decided to exit, market took an absolute unbelievable beating, and the S&P futures dropped from 2120 to a low of 2000, basically 120 points, one session drop during the overnight. And of course, once we got to the level of 2000, we could not possibly had more of a drop after 120 points. Therefore, a combination of certainly Federal Reserve and central banks intervention and profit taking made it bounce from the 2000 level, and the overnight closed at 2032.5. Now let's go look at our daily chart and see exactly what is taking place in the bigger picture. If you recall, during my last report, I said that this flat top was not finished, and what we needed to see was one break on the upside to clean this top, trap late buyers, and then get a severe rejection to the downside during the same session. And this is exactly what happened. We cleared that top, brought in a whole bunch of late buyers and trapped them, and we reversed very severely to the downside. Now, very clearly, this has caused a reversal of trend in the very short term, and it is very clear that this top that we did put in at 21, let's say 2119 or 2120, whatever that top is going to be a very strong short-term top, and it will be very difficult to reverse it from where we are at. Therefore, most likely continuation to the downside should follow through. However, the main low that is now to be monitored very, very carefully is the 2000 level. If we come down and test it and cannot break it, it is very likely that we are getting or going to get a bounce off of it. Anytime that we do break that 2000 and we do not see any kind of support being provided, then I'm expecting that price should drop very fast towards 1950. Then at 1950, because we will have a drop from 2100 plus to 1950, most likely there will be short-term support coming into the market at that level. This clearly has caused now a lot of uncertainty into the market, because the situation of UK, all the businesses, the infrastructure that was built around the UK being into the European Union is now gone, and we have to figure out how everything will be restructured with the UK being out of the Union and wanting to conduct business with the European Union. So it doesn't look too good, especially that the close was at the very low of the session, Therefore, I'm going to provide you the most likely levels where there will be activities from. The first level of resistance will come in at 2040. Second level of resistance will be coming at 2055. And if we can pierce through 2055, there is a very good chance and likelihood that we're going to try to retrace a good portion of these singles here and doubles, and price could then go up towards 91.5. To the downside, the very key element is 2000. That's what we need to monitor very carefully for a potential breakdown. And as I said, if we do break 2000, next level down, I really don't have much prior to 1950. So be embraced for a lot of volatility. There is no question that there will be tremendous central bank intervention, and now the fight will be between how much the central banks can tame the drop versus how much money wants to exit out of the market as a result of this decision. So it's going to be very volatile. My advice to you is to really be patient and trade out of very, very selective levels. Avoid the areas which are insignificant and be waiting for main inflection points to be hit and trade from those. Now, as far as crude is concerned, it did somehow hold the retest of the trend line up, but overall it was also a very strong day to the downside with a lot of money fleeing out of the market. Therefore, the main area of support now comes in at 46.5. Any given time that we do break 46.5 on a closing basis of a daily chart, the next target will be 44.15. This also will trade tremendously parallel to what the dollar will do. If there is a very strong strengthening of the dollar, it should bring weakness into the price of crude. If there is a weakening of the dollar, that should help crude. Of course, a lot will be watched as well what the market will do, because if we do get a complete collapse of the market, breaking 2000, wanting to go towards 1950 or lower, it will be very difficult for crude to go up. So let me give you the main levels of resistance now. Your first main area is 48.58. After that is broken up, I'm expecting that we're gonna go challenge this area of underdevelopment on the profile and then hit 49.34, and past 39.44 we should go up for a test of 50. So let's put a line here. As for the downside, first is going to be 46.70, but as I gave you the main bigger level from the daily chart, I would consider 46.50 as the main support. If that is broken, we should see a sharp drop towards 44.15. So now, since we are in the middle of the bracket going from 46.50 to 48.58, we are supposed to sell close to that area and buy close to the low, since it's a bracketed market now, and see at some point which of these two levels will break so that we would exit out of this bracket. So it's going to be a very interesting coming week, very volatile, very uncertain, very news related. So you should definitely use a lot of caution while trading. This was Reza with Profiletraders. Thank you for listening, and if you wish to learn market profile, check my website. You can get a 2 days trial to check out my trading room and see the detail of all the courses and packages that I do offer. To the next time, and have a great trading.